नमः सुन्दरनाथाय तस्मै हालास्य वासिने चतुष्षष्टि विधालीला येनाकारि भुवस्थले श्रीमत्सुन्दरनाथस्य देवीं शभरलोचनां कलये हृदये नित्यं कदम्ब वनवासिनीं पूतं स्वतः पूततरं ततो यद्गाङ्गं पयः शङ्करमौलिसङ्कात् तत्पातु मातुः प्रणयापराध पादाहते पूततमं ततो नः अखिलं जगदात्मसम्प्रसूतं परिपुष्णाति दृगेव यत्किल अस्याः अभिधामपि मीनलोचनेति व्यदधात् इन्द्रपुरोहितः ततो अस्याः. There were a couple of shlokas which were describing the Devi Vigraham that Vishwakarma had created. Indra was so overcome by seeing all those sides when he thought that he had too many eyes. He has 1,000 eyes, right? So when he thought that he had too many eyes, but then when he looked at all the objects in front of him and the Devi Vigraham in particular in front of him, he felt that these 1,000 eyes were not enough to enjoy that or even get in that entire sight. So he prayed to Adishakti herself. The statue or the Vigraham was so beautiful and it was so full of auspicious signs that Adishakti herself wanted to enter into that statue, giving it that Sannidhyam. Indra also prayed. Brihaspati also asked. He did a stotram and then Shiva accepted it. It's not about Shiva giving permission, but it's more like, Tamil la vandha ஆமோதிக்கிறதும்போ. ஆமோதிக்கிறதுன்னா, it is something you say yes to it. Not as in giving permission, but as to, okay, I also like that the Devi should be there in her Shakti form. As Sundareshwara's presence is also there in that lingam, probably he also wanted her presence beside him, and that's why he said yes to it, right? More than giving permission. I would take it that way. So the next where we finished off is Akhilam Jagad Atma Prasutam, Atma Samprasutam Paripushnati Devi. Devi tu Drik Drisha Eva, with just her drishti, with her eyesight, she takes care of the entire world. She nurtures the entire world that she herself has created. Shaktya eva tat sarvam sambhutam. Akhilam jagat atma samprasutam. She herself has created this entire world. Without the Maya Shakti, Shivaha Shaktya yuktaha yadi bhavati na shaktah prabhavitum. He cannot even do any work without Shakti beside him. So she is the Parabrahma Mahishi. She is the Maya Shakti who creates the entire world. So Akhilam Jagat Atma Samprasutam Sa Paripushnati. Katham Paripushnati. Pratyekasya, she doesn't come to everybody's house. Ekaikasyapi grihayam gatva tatra paripalanam karoti vana. But she just looks at them and with her drishti itself, she protects everybody and nurtures everybody. This is like how a mother fish takes care of its young ones in the ocean. It does not go and do things for each and every fish, but then with its eyes, that is why the eyes of a fish are also chanchalam. So it keeps moving here and there to take care of all the little ones that swarm around it. In the same way, Ambal also takes care of us. Parhi Indra Purohitaha, so Indra's guru, that is which is Brihaspati, he gave her the name of Meena Lochana. Anvarthanama iti. Next is Niyatam Kanakara Vinda Pujam Divijaihi Kartumana Harihi Sarojaihi Pavanam Prajighaya Devadutam Swayam Asnat Atha Shula Pushkarinyam. Niyatam Kanakara Vinda Pujam Divijaihi Sarojaihi Kartumanaha Divijaihi Sarojaihi Divijaihi Swarge Jataha. So Divi Jayante iti Divijaha or Divijani because it is Sarojam. So Divijani, the Sarojani, which is the with golden lotuses that were born in Swargam. Divi jaihi sarojaihi swarga utpannaihi kamalaihi niyatam kanaka aravinda pujam kartumanaha. Hari Indra wanted to perform a worship. He wanted to do puja with golden lotuses. Kanaka aravinda pujam. Now you know where it coming, because the and the kolam, the tatakam that is there near the temple is called Potramarai Kolam. It is supposed to have had golden lotuses at one point. Potramare, Pontamare. So Kanaka Aravinda Pujam Kartumanaha Harihi, in order to do a puja, worship with golden lotuses. The two Katham Pujam Ityukte, Niyatam Pujam. Niyatangirde Niyamayuktam. Niyamena Yuktam Pujam Kartumanaha. Kartum Manaha Yasya. One who had a mind to perform a very proper worship or an attentive worship with golden lotuses. Divijaihi Sarojaihi, with golden lotuses that were born from the Swargam. So Divijaihi Sarojaihi Kanaka Aravinda Pujam Kartumanaha Harihi. Now what he did, he wanted lotuses from Swargam. So he sent a messenger there for this. Devadutam Pavanam Prajighaya Preshayamasa. He sent Pavana, Vayu, who is the messenger of the Devatas. So Devadutam Pavanam Prajighaya, he sent him to Swargam so that he can bring the lotuses, or just inform them that, see, Indra wants golden lotuses for puja. That's it. As long as he conveys this to the devas who are there, it will happen. Tat katham iti anantara shloke vartate. So Shula Pushkarinyam Swayam cha asnat. Atha, after sending Pavana to Swargam, Vayum Dutarupena Swargam Preshayitva Atha iti Anantaram. Afterwards. Kasmad Anantaram ityukte, after sending Devaduta to Swargam in order to bring the golden lotuses for him to make puja. Atha Swayam, what did he do? He took a bath in that tatakam. Shula Pushkarini. It is called Shula Pushkarini because Parameshwarasya Shulatu Utpanna sa Pushkarini iti karanat. Shula Pushkarini ityapi tasyaha anyat nama. So one name is Shula Pushkarini, the other name is it's going to be Kanakambujini iti Potramare Kolam. And there are many different names actually in Halasya Mahatmyam. There is one section, I think I spoke about it in the last Sarga, in the second Sarga. If you have, you can go back to it and check it out. When the lake was made, there is a section devoted to it on the different names that have been given to that lake. Because it is a divine lake, it was also made by Shiva. From the Shulam, it had come out. So it is called Shula Pushkarini. He is going to name it again as Kanakambujini later. So Kanaka Aravinda Pujam Divijaihi Sarojaihi Kartumanaha Harihi, in order to perform an attentive worship, Niyatam Pujam, with golden lotuses. Kanaka Aravinda. He that were born in Swarga, Divijaihi Sarojaihi. He wanted to do it. So Indra sent Vayu Pavanam Prajighaya, Devadutam Pavanam Prajigaya. He sent the Devaduta Pavana, which is Vayu, in order to inform the Devas about this. Jighayangardu vandu, he is the dhatu here. It's the lit lakara for he dhatu. Hinoti, usually hinoti is he gatau vriddhau iti. Hinoti, we don't use it much, but we use it in along with the pra or other upasargas. There is more usages with the upasarga and not directly with the jigaya. So prajighaya is more commonly used here, or apa, prati, ati. These can be used like prahitam, apahitam, iti, apahinoti, apagamayati, one who goes out. So it is generally found along with upasargas. It is not found on its own. So hinoti is the lat lakara and lit is jighaya. So prajighaya, he sent. Pavanam prajighaya, devadutam pavanam saha harihi prajighaya, he sent him. Swayam atha, after that, Swayam, he himself took a bath. Asnat, he took a bath in the Shula Pushkarini. Niyatam kanakaravinda pujam divijaih kartumana haris sarojaihi pavanam prajigaya devadutam swayam asnadatha Shula Pushkarinya. Krita nitya vidhau vilambamane shivam abhyarchayitum kshanam sureshe kamalai rudabhavi jatarupaihi kamalinyam atisaurabhaihi amushyam. Krita nitya vidhau. So snanam kritva tadanantaram nitya vidim api akarot saha. So he was doing all of his daily routine, like whatever sandhya vandanadikam, nitya vidhi, any daily ritual that he has to do, he performed all of that, and he was delaying shivam abhyarchayitum kshanam vilambamane sati sureshe. Suranam Ishaha Devendraha. This is in Sati Saptami here. So Sureshe, when Indra was delaying a little bit to perform the worship of puja of Shiva. So Shivam Abhyarchayitum Kshanam Vilambamane Sati Kritanitya Vidau, having completed his daily rituals, Sureshe, when Indra delayed kshanam vilambamane sati, when he waited for some time. Now he waited for the flowers to come, or he waited for probably Vayu to bring back flowers from Swargam, but there was an easier method to get this done. So flowers started blooming in that lotus at that point when he was just waiting. Another, before you start your archana, you finish your daily rituals and you don't immediately start Panchavarnaya, whatever, the Ashtotram or anything. You have to get into that frame of mind to do puja. You will have to wait for a moment and Soham Bhavena Pujayet. Before you start every puja, there is a shlokam that you say, Soham Bhavena, Saha Aham Iti Bhavena. Tarihi, Mai, you make your entire body into a temple and you are having that Paramatma or Ishvara in your body, which is like a temple. So he is the Antaryami. So Tadrisha Shuddhi Bhutva न केवलं बाह्य शुद्धिः आवश्यकी किन्तु मनःशुद्धिरपि आवश्यकम्. So you need not only an outer cleanliness but also an inner cleanliness. So you need to concentrate your mind for a moment, be calm, and then focus. Then you start your archana. That is what he was doing. So Shivam Abhyarchayitum, he delayed, he didn't, he was not looking at some mobile scrolling reels. That was not what he was doing. Shivam Abhyarchayitum Kshanam Vilambamane Ityukte, he wanted to gather all his thoughts and focus his mind on Shiva. Kshanam Vilambamane Sati. What happened at that time? Meanwhile, within that time, Atisaurabhaihi, Jatarupaihi, Kamalaihi, Amushyam Kamalinyam Udabhavi. This is in Bhave Prayoga. Udabhavat or Udabhavan. Kamalani Udabhavan. This is your direct Kartari Prayoga. Lotus is formed. Now this is in Bhave Prayoga. இது தமிழ்லயும் தாமரை பூக்களால் உண்டாகப்பட்டது. தமிழ்லயும் ஒழுங்கா வராது, இங்கிலீஷ்லயும் ஒழுங்கா வராது. பாவ்ய பிரயோக இஸ் வெரி யூனிக் டு சம்ஸ்கிருதம் with respect to English or any local languages. It is tough to explain this or tough to translate it. So kamalaihi udabhavi, lotuses came out, amushyam kamalinyam, emerged in that lake. So very fragrant. Atisaurabhaihi, Jatarupaihi. Jatarupa is Hema. Kamalani. Swarnani Kamalani. Jatarupa is Swarnam. Actually, Jatam Prashastam Rupam. Jatam Ityukte, it is a Nalla Uru श्रेष्ठं रूपं तस्य वर्तते इति कारणात् स्वर्णस्य जातरूप इति नाम पर्यायवाची शब्द. So Jatarupaihi Kamalaihi, golden lotuses emerged, Udabhavi, it came out of that Kamalini of that lake. So Kritanitya Vidau Vilambamane Shivam Abhyarchaitum Kshanam Sureshe Kamalair Udabhavi Jatarupaihi Kamalinyam Atisaurabhaihi Amushyam Swayam Aharat Archanaya Shambhoho Surabhini Amburuhani Kanchanani Kanakambujini iti nama tasyaha kalayan vismitaha eshaha sasmitascha. Swayam aharat archanaya shambhoho. Shambhoho archanaya, in order to worship Shambhu, Shiva, he Swayam aharat, he brought those out of his own accord. He took them out, that is, he plucked those flowers with his own hand. He did not ask any of his sevakas to come there and take it out for him. So Swayam aharat, he plucked and collected those flowers of himself. He himself plucked them for Shiva's worship, Shambhoho Archanaya. What did he bring? Surabhini, Kanchanani, Amburuhani. Amburuhani lotuses, Ambuni rohanti iti. Ambuni jayante ambujani. Ambuni rohante. Rohati is growing. So these that grow in the water. So lotuses, Amburuhani, they are Kanchanani, they are golden lotuses. And Surabhini, they also have a smell here. Now, this is a surprising thing because Indra looks at it and he is very surprised. Vismitaha saha. How can golden lotuses? Imagine that you are making a big lotus or even a small one. In the Kanakabhishekam, when someone turns 100 or when someone has the 4th generation of children, sons, son. When they see the 4th generation of sons, they do a Kanakabhishekam for the eldest person who is alive there. So for that you make these small lotus kind of flowers in gold. But that is so hard. And there is no smell to it at all. What smell is there for gold? Nothing. There is no beauty in it at all. It just looks probably bright. That's it. Right? But these flowers are completely different. Surabhini, they're very fragrant. Golden lotuses. So, Indra, Eshaha, Indraha, Tasyaha Kanakambujini, iti nama kalayanna kurvanna. Kale is usually Kamadhenu, that is, you can take whatever meaning contextually will fit there. So Kanakambujini, this lake is called Kanakambujini. Tasyaha Pushkarinyaha Kanakambujini Potramaraikulam. Appadina iti nama kalayan, giving this name giving the name of Kamala Ambujini to that lake. Indra became very surprised. Vismitaha saha, and he also had a smile in his face. Sasmitaha saha. So Sasmitaha, with a smile, he gave this name because he was very surprised. Vismitaha cha abhut. There is no dhatu, kriyapadam, so we take abhut or abhavat and add it here. So Swayam Maharat Archanaya Shambhoho Surabhini Amburuhani Kanchanani Kanakambujini iti nama tasyaha kalayan vismitaha eshaha sasmitaha. Kwanu, now people all be wondering how this golden lotus came from the lake. Kwanu kanchanata kwa saurabham tat divi sankalpa bhaveshu pankajeshu prabhavatyakilam hi nirjaranam dhruvam adhyasika tattadarthavan naha. This is a little bit tough shloka. It starts off being very simple, but then in the adhyasika tattadarthavat, it turns a little difficult to explain, very unlike our Nilakanta Dikshita's style. But then, Kwanu Kanchanata. Appopo he has to bring in one tough thing for us like the Mahabharata in the Kuttu Shlokam Madri, Mudicha Shlokam Madri. So Kwanu Kanchanata Kwa Saurabham Tat Divi Sankalpa Bhaveshu Pankajeshu. in the lotuses, how can there be a golden lotus and how can there be a fragrance in the lotuses created in the minds of the devas? Now, you'll have to think of what the background story is. What did we start off with? Indra wanted to worship with golden lotuses. Kanakara Vinda Pujam Kartum Manaha Asitu Tasya. Tarhi, what did he do? He sent a messenger to get those lotuses. He sent a messenger to Swargam. Vayu went there. Now, then what happened? There were lotuses near him in that lake. That's all. Now, what happened in between? The Devas must have thought that golden lotuses must be created in the bhumi also, in that lake particularly, which is near that temple. He had decided in his mind. Or sorry, the Devas had decided in their mind. So Divi, Swarge, in Swarga, Sankalpa Bhaveshu Pankajeshu, those lotuses which come from the mental resolve or the mind of the Devas, Sankalpam. They just take the Sankalpam of, okay, let there be golden lotuses in that Shula Pushkarini. They thought like that, that's all. And Sankalpat Yani Pankajani Udbhutani Tatra tu Kanchanatapi Vidyate, Saurabhamapi Vidyate. So, Sankalpa Bhaveshu, something that you create in your mind, how can there be a physical presence for it? So, how can there be a golden nature to that lotus? How can there be a fragrance to that lotus? This is indeed surprising. That is why Indra also Vismitaha Saha Kintu Sasmitaha Api. Because he knows that Devas have that power to create, to bring everything into existence in a realistic manner. But he starts off by saying, Kvanu Kanchanata, where is this golden nature? Kva Saurabham, where is this fragrance for something in those lotuses, in the Pankajeshu, which is Divi Sankalpa Bhaveshu, which have only been created by the mind. This is something like Pushalarnayanar, you know that story, where he creates a big temple in his own mind. But Parameshwara decides to be there for the Prana Pratishtha and not in the temple that was created by the king outside physically. So the power of the mind is actually higher, is what he is trying to say here. So Divi Sankalpa Bhaveshu Pankajeshu Kvanu Kanchanata Kvatat Saurabham Naha Asmakam Dhruvam Nirjaranam Akhilam Prabhavatihi. Naha Adhyasika Tattat Arthavat. What we have an illusory creation in our mind. Just as how we have something called Adhyasa. What is Adhyasa? This is a technical term in Vedanta. We call it as Atasmin Tad Buddhihi. Atasmin Tad Buddhihi. So Tasmin ityukte, in a Shukti, take an oyster. We usually take the example of Shukti Rajatam and explain this. Adhyasa. And Adhyasika Sambandha is the relationship between the illusory object and the real object. Now, the real object that you see in the beach, let's say you take a walk along the beach, there is an oyster shell there. The oyster shell's inside part is very shiny because it is held a pearl in there, right? So the oyster shell is very shiny there, Shukti. When the light falls there and your eyes are also a little blurred because of the Surya's rays, it will shine like silver. So Shukti Rajatam, this is but that silver on that oyster shell is Adhyasa. Atasmin, in an object where Rajatam is not present, Arajate, Shuktau, tad buddhihi, atasmin tad buddhihi, rajata buddhihi. So we have the concept of, or the illusory nature, or illusory appearance of rajatam, silver, on an oyster shell. How do we understand this? There is some issue there because we don't know the proper thing. It is not near our hand. There is a problem with the rays falling there, glare, ennalamo. There are other things that happen. But because we assume that it is silver, we want to go and pick it up. There is an asha pravritti there towards that object. So mithya adhyasikaha mithya jnanavantaha artha jnanavantaha padarthaha. So those artha, tad artha, everything that is like an illusory appearance for us, it can extend up to the world. We think that there is a computer here, a world here, an object to be attained, something to be eaten, something to be enjoyed. All of this, according to Advaita, it is an illusory appearance. None of this is real. Atasmin ityukte brahmaswarupe tadbuddhihi, or atasmin, where these objects are not present actually, but it is just an illusory appearance. We think that these objects are present. Okay, so adhyasika tattad arthavat. So how is our conception? Like illusory appearances of objects for us, we create it from our mind and we see them literally. Let's say we go into an in the dark room, there is some object lying there like a long rope, rajju sarpa example. So we think it is a sarpa, snake. We get afraid because of that. So which means we react to those illusory objects. So in the same manner, dhruvam, definitely, nirjaranam akhilam prabharvati, nirjaranam devanam akhilam, all of these sankalpa bhavam, whatever they have thought about in their mind, even this rajatam and this sarpa, we think about it in our mind, but we have no capability of making it appear realistically. Another person will come and switch on the light and say, oh, it is only a rope. You have unnecessarily been torturing yourself with this, right? The same, whereas for devas, dhruvam, definitely it will become dhruvam prabhavati. I would take it as akhilam dhruvam prabhavati. Take that dhruva as இதுக்கு போட்டுறணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன் இல்லையா? ஆமா, நிர்ஜராணாம் அகிலம் து dhruvam prabhavati, it becomes real. அப்படி take this dhruva as a vidheya amsha. So nirjaranam akhilam sankalpa bhavam padartham dhruvam bhavati. Dhruvam ityukte satyataya parinamati. It turns into realistic manner. So that's why they may have been in Sarga, all the devas might have been in Sarga. They must have just thought about golden lotuses in their mind. And that too, the way Indra wanted those golden lotuses, the moment they thought about it in their mind, they had the capability of making it real. That is why this lake was now filled with golden lotuses. I'll have to change the Anvaya in mine also. Okay. Kvanu kanchanata kva saurabham. One minute. Kvanu kanchanata kva saurabham. Divi tad divi sankalpa bhaveshu pankajeshu prabhavatyakilam hi nirjaranam dhruvam adhyasika tattad arthavat naha. Okay. I will answer questions at the end. We will do probably one more shloka or two more shlokas, and then I'll answer the questions. Okay. So salilaihi atipavanaihi tadiyaihi kamalairapi atisaurabhair mahendraihi paripujya shivau guruptaritya pranipataihi paritoshayam babhuva. Tadiyaihi mahendraha atipavanaihi tadiyaihi salilaihi atisaurabhaihi tadiyaihi kamalaihi Shivau paripujya. Mahendra, that is Indra, having worshipped Shivau, Shivacha, Shivahacha, Shivau, that is Meenakshi and Sundareshwara, after having worshipped both of them, with what? According to the instruction of his Guru, Guru Ukta Ritya. Brihaspatina Ukta Ritya, whatever were the instructions that Brihaspati gave, Tena Darshita Patha. Tena darshitaya paddhatya paripujya, after worshipping Shiva and Shivaha both together, Salil, with what? He worshipped them with first Abhishekam and then you do Archana. So for Abhishekam, he took the waters of the Shula Pushkarani itself. So tadiyaihi tasyaha salilani. Okay, so tasyaha tadiyaihi salilaihi shula pushkarinyaha salilaihi atipavanaihi, which were very pure, sanctifying waters of the lake, and then atisaurabhaihi tadiyaihi kamalaihi, with the very fragrant lotuses of that lake itself. Mahendra, he worshipped both Shiva and Shiva. Guru Uktaritya, according to the instructions that he got from his Guru. And he also pleased them by doing namaskarams continuously, pranipataihi in bahuvachanam here. Ekavaram na bahuvaram namaskaram kritavan. So namaskaraihi paritoshayam babhuva, he pleased both of them. Shivau paritoshayam babhuva. So Salilair Atipavanaihi, these are simple shlokas. Salilair Atipavanaihi Tadiyaihi Kamalairapi Atisaurabhaihi Mahendraha Paripujya Shiva Guruktaritya Pranipatif Paritoshayam Babhuva Api Gadgadaya Pramoda Bashpairapi Sara Ujjitaya Atisambramena Pitarau Priyaka Priyau Sureshaha Sagira Anarcha Vachaf Patha Vyatitau Api Gadgadaya, Gadgadaya api Pramoda Bashpairapi Gadgadaya api Saha Sureshaha Indraha. He started doing Archana with words, right? So first he did Abhishekam, and then when he was doing Archana, he has to say the Ashtotram. So he has to use a Stotram there. Gira, Anarcha, he did an Archana using his words, Gira, with words. How were there those words? Gadgadaya api. It was with the and the Thalidalta Kurallungram. So Asputavak. With unclear words. So Gadgadaya api, even though his words were not very clear. Why were they not clear? Pramoda Bashpaihi api. He was with tears of joy. So he had Pramodasya Bashpaihi. Ashrubihi, Ananda Ashrubihi, Yuktaha Saha api, Gadgadaya api, Vacha, Gira, Sara Ujjitaya. There is no essence in the words that he was using, because words do not reach both Meenakshi and Sundareshwara. Pitarau, they are the Jagat of Pitarau. They liked this Kadamba flower, Priyaka Priyau. Priyaka is Kadamba Pushpam. So Kadamba Pushpeshu Priti Yuktau. They both loved Kadamba Pushpam. So Priyaka Priyau Pitarau, and they were beyond the words. Vachaf Patha Vyatitau. Vachaf Vachasam Panthanam Atikrantau. They had completely Vyatitau Atikrantau. They were beyond Atikranta. They were beyond the Margam, the path of words. Vachaf Patha. Another Vacham Agocharo. It's very difficult to confine them to words and describe them. Why do you think there are so many Sahasranamas and so many Ashtotrams for each and every Devata? Because this is not enough. Beyond the Vedas, I'm talking about. So Vedas is one section, and then if you go to each and every Purana, for every Devata there is one Stotram or the other. After that, there have been so many Kavis and poets who, even though, see, everybody wants to write a Stotram till today, including myself. I'm saying, you feel like expressing yourself, expressing the Devi, both Shiva and Parvati, or any Devata Swarupam in your own words, because you feel maybe I can express it in a different angle. There is a different perspective from my perspective might be different from what they have said. I may use the same words, because vocabulary is after all the same. There can be newer words, but still you want to express yourself in a different way. Even though there are Vedas, there can be no other greater stotra or anything other than the Vedas. Because in Saundaryalahari, Shrutinam Murdhano Dadati Tavayau Shekharataya Mamapyeto Mata Shirasidaya Dehi Charan. Her feet starts where the Vedas end. Abrina, the Vedas can go only up to a certain level. It can't even start describing the magnitude of the greatness of Devi here. For any Devata, for any Shakti, the Devas have only so much limitations. Sorry, Vedas have only so much limitation. So, Gihi, Vak is something that can only go up to that. So, Vachaf Patha Vyatito. They are beyond the path of words. Whereas Indra wants to describe them with words. Gira Anarcha. He worshipped them with words, even though they were unclear, but he was very enthusiastic. Ati Sambhavena. Enthusiastically, he was describing everything. Aதாவது இந்த அபத்தம் வா சுபத்தம் வாம்போ Bhavam is much more important. Bhavameva pashyati iti. Even for Narayaniyam, we say, how Bhattatri was going in a temple and one person was saying Vishnu Sahasranamam, he was saying Maraprabhu iti. Tadanantaram Amaraprabhu iti, he corrected it, right? But then God came and said, Aham Maraprabhu nasmi kim, Amaraprabhu eva. Mara ityukte Manushyanam Prabhu. Amara Prabhu ityukte Devanam Prabhu. There is a meaning to even that because there is an enthusiasm there. There is a bhava there. It is only the bhavam that the Devata sees. So, Ati Sambhramena, even if those words do not have any particular essence, Sara Ujjitaya api gira, Ati Sambhramena, very enthusiastically, Indra worshipped the Lord, the parents, world's parents, right? Pitarau, Meenakshi and Sundaresha, who loved Kadamba flowers. Priyaka Priyo. So, Api Gadgadaya Pramoda Bashpairapi, Sarojjitaya Ati Sambhramena. That's why he puts those two words together here. Pitarau Priyaka Priyo Sureshaha, Sagira Anarcha Vachafpatha Vyatito. Okay, I'll stop with this. Any questions? Lata, you had a question?
You were explaining about the Shukta Urajata. The same thing appeared in Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Pancharatnam. Shukta Rajata Pratibha Jata Katakadyakta Samartha Chet.
It is the same thing.
Okay.
Adla vandu fulla Tatprabhujiva Priyamichasi chet Narahari Pujam Kurusatatamanda. There is a refrain that comes at the last tool, yeah. Bhaja Bhaja Lakshmi Narasimhanaga Pathasarasi Jamakarandam. Marubhumau Virasayam. Do not go around in this Marubhumi, which does not have any saram. Shuktila Rajatam Pakra Madri, in the Volagatta number one, the Rajatam Madri Nenekan. Adunudi Unmayana Swarupam and the Shukti Pola Parabrahma Swarupam da. You have to think about Brahma Swarupam as the true nature and not look at the glittering, all that glitters is not golden Grome. That's what it is. You don't look at every glittering thing and go behind it. You look at the saram that is there inside. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much of resemblance with this. The same and the muttu chickpea, ade example it is said. So it's so wonderful.
Rajata Pratibhajata.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Shankari Mohdaya.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Jatarupasya Vishaye Valmiki Ramayane Balakande Saptatrimsha Sarge Gangayaha Kartikeyasya Utpattehe Prasangaha Tatra Asti Jatarupam Katham iti Nama iti Vadamiva Patamiva.
I will take up that text, I can even share that and see. Which Sarga?
Saptatrimsha Sargaha.
Balakande?
Balakande Saptatrimsha Sargaha. Gangayaha Kartikeyasyoutpattehe Prasangaha.
Birth of Kartikeya. Ethanavadu Shlokan solunga?
Shloka Sankhya
Devatanam Vachashrutva Dvavimshatihi.
Vasutaha Gangayaha Kathanat Arabhya अथा ब्रवीत् इदं गंगां देव सर्वदेव हुताशनः इह हैमवते पार्श्वे गर्भोऽयं
जातरूपम् इति ख्यातं या कड़चुट्टु या निक्षिप्त गर्भे तु तेजोभिः अभिरञ्जितं सर्वं पर्वतसन्नद्धं सौवर्णम् अभवद् वनम् ஒரு நிமிஷம் ஓ சரி I will take this up and maybe இத வந்து next time சொல்லலாம்
पञ्चदश श्लोकतः आरभ्य पठामश्चेत्
ओके पातुर्लामे
तया दर्तुं न शक्यते इति गङ्गादेवी अनन्तरम् एवं विसर्जनं तत्र तत्र विसर्जयतु इति तेन उक्तम् एवं भवति
ओके ओके ஒரே நிமிஷம் maybe I'll share that இன்னைக்கே பாத்துறலாமே கையோட அவ்வளவுதானே तमुवाच ततो एतदेव खलु तमुवाच ततो गंगा सर्वदेव पुरोहितम् अशक्ताधारणे देव तव तेजः समुद्भवम् शिवस्य तेजः तत्र कार्तिकेयस्य उत्पत्ति ओके when Ganga says that I am unable to hold your power
तत्र स्थापयति इति गंगायां
तदनन्तरम् अग्निः तत्र गंगायां स्थापयति राइट अशक्ताधारणे देव तव तेजः समुद्धतं दह्यमान अग्निना तेन संप्रव्यथित चेतना இல்ல கரெக்ட்டா இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு தெரியல ஓகே अथ अब्रवीदिदं गंगां सर्वदेव हुताशनः इह हैमवती पादे गर्भोऽयं सन्निवेश्यताम् so go and keep this in the foothills of हिमवत् पर्वत the tejas shiva tejas श्रुत्वा तु अग्निवचः गंगा तं गर्भं अति भास्वरं उत्ससर्ज महातेजः स्रोतोभ्यः हि तदा अनघ so Ganga hearing this from the words of Agni she also took that garbham through her streams यद अस्याः निर्गतं तस्मात् तप्त जाम्बूनद प्रभं काञ्चनं धरणीं प्राप्तं हिरण्यम् अमलं शुभम् so this tapta jambunada prabham it came to the earth from Ganga ताम्रं कार्ष्णायसं चैव तैक्ष्ण्यादेव अभ्यजायत मलं तस्य अभवत् तत्र
त्रपुसीसकं
त्रपून इदु अजिंका सीसकं lead
सीसकं lead
because of that तीक्ष्णं that is there in that idu garbhasya तीक्ष्णत्वात् ततः मलं निर्गतं in the form of all these metals adane solrar okay okay so when that embryo reached that tejas gave to the production of a lot of metals in the earth निक्षिप्तमात्रे गर्भे तु तेजोभिः अभिरञ्जितं सर्वं पर्वतसन्नद्धं सौवर्णम् अभवत् वनम् the entire forest on the mountain it started sprouting it became golden there because of the garbham that came there to the forest on the sides of Ganga it just spread so jata roopam iti khyatam tada prabhriti raghava Suvarnam Purusha Vyagra Hutashana Samaprabham because Suvarnam has come from Agni. See, this is why in Tarkasangraha metals are also a form of fire. So there are three types of fire. One is Surya Chandramaha iti Divi, and then you have Agni. The metals are also formed from the Agni, and so okay, this is where the story is. Okay. Nice. Jata roopam iti khyatam.
Jata roopam uttama roopam iti.
Uttama roopam jatam iti. Correct. Because of that, Tejas, the entire forest nearby Ganga, on the banks of Ganga, it became golden.
Vayam mineral extraction sarvam patamaha kila chemistry मध्ये. So sarvam evam abhavat iti. पुनः अन्य संशयः विधेयः इति भवत्या उक्तं किल
यद्
विधेयः इति
विधेयः वा
ध्रुवम् इति पदम् अन्यत्र स्थापयामः इति
करेक्ट करेक्ट उद्देश्य विधेय भावम्
तद् किञ्चित् विवृणोतु महोदय
ओके ओके उद्देश्यं विधेयम् अंगर्चे उद्देश्य इज समथिंग दैट इज ज्ञातम् विधेय पदं तु अज्ञातम् सो यत् पूर्वं ज्ञातम् let's say simple example is let's say I know पुस्तकम् अस्ति किं पुस्तकम् इति विशेषणं तत्र कर्तव्यं तर्हि विसे पुस्तकं नीलम् अस्ति अथवा पुस्तकं ह्रस्वम् अस्ति that pustakam is something that I know before jnatam tattu uddeshyam that is my goal I am going to describe that what am I videya is that which is the ajnatam part which I am going to make it known to you right now I'm saying pustakam tu tvam janasyeva tat pustakam tu hrasvam asti so the pustakam becomes your uddeshya and videya is what you attribute it to it later so tatha atrapi sarvam nirjaranam akhilam whatever is there in their mind tad dhruvam if I say dhruvam in the beginning then I will have to take it as an avyaya and say noonam definitely everything of that everything is possible for devas அப்படினா அது வந்து கொஞ்சம் சப்புன்னு ஆயிடும் அந்த இடத்துல ध्रुवम् इति नूनम् इति यदि वयं स्वीकुर्मः तर्हि नूनम् इति अव्ययरूपेण भवति then नूनं definitely everything is possible for devas nirjaranam akhilam prabhavati instead of that if you take that dhruvam and put it as a videya bhaga nirjaranam akhilam nirjaranam manasi yatyat vartate tat sarvam dhruvam prabhavati all of that becomes satyam nishchitam iti okay any other questions okay we'll stop with this namasundara nathaya tasmai halasya vasine chaturshashti vidhalila yenakari bhuvasthale